हसरत है हमारी बाबा कर दो वो पूरी आके, मिल जाओ प्यारे बाबा हम बच्चों से आके, मिल जाओ प्यारे बाबा हम बच्चों से आके।
अनादि काल में जाओ तो परम धाम में भी आप विशेष आत्माओं की पर्सनालिटी सबसे ऊंची है। चाहे आत्माएं सब चमकती हुई ज्योति है, लेकिन आप रूहानी पर्सनालिटी वाली आत्माओं की चमक सब आत्माओं से न्यारी और प्यारी। अपने अनादि काल के पर्सनालिटी को स्मृति में लाओ। आई स्मृति में देख रहे हो बाप दादा के साथ साथ कैसे रूहानी पर्सनालिटी में दिखाई दे रहे हैं। अपने आप को देखते हो, देख सकते हो। चले जाओ अनादि काल में। कितने टाइम में जा सकते हो? कितना टाइम लगेगा जाने में? सेकंड से भी कम ना, कि एक दिन चाहिए, एक घंटा चाहिए। सेकंड से भी कम, जहां जाओ वहां पहुंच सकते। तो अनादि काल की अपनी पर्सनालिटी देखी, देख ली। अभी अनादि काल से आदि काल में आ जाओ। आगे कि चल रहे हो अभी, पहुंच गए, शक्तियां पहुंच गई, पहुंच गए। तो अनादि काल से आदि काल में अपनी रूहानी पर्सनालिटी देखो, कितनी श्रेष्ठ पर्सनालिटी है। तन की भी तो मन की भी, तो तन की भी और संबंध की भी, सब प्रकार के पर्सनालिटी कितनी श्रेष्ठ है। आदि काल की पर्सनालिटी देख रहे हो।
बड़ी मन भावनी मुरली प्रेम से प्राणों को सींचे, रसीली तान की ये डोर आपकी ओर ही खींचे, आपकी ओर ही।
Om Shanti. Avekti Parivar. So before we start the series, just want to remind you all that tomorrow is 15th August, Tuesday. We will have Mohini Didi's birthday celebration here in Toronto. So you all are welcome to join in Avekti Parivar Zoom or YouTube. It's going to be from 5 p.m. onwards. And just to let you know, Tuesday we generally have our Murli revision from 5 to 6, which we will move 1 hour ahead, which will be from 4 to 5. So again, everyone, please join Didi's birthday celebration tomorrow from 5 p.m. onwards. Thank you. Now let's start the series. Welcome to Avekti Parivar.
Om Shanti. Transform the atmosphere with volcanic yoga tapasya from Brahmins to angels and then deities. Just as when something is put into a fire and its name, form, and quality changes, so too, when you are put into the fire of remembrance of the Father and the fire of love, transformation takes place. You change from human beings into Brahmins, and then from Brahmins, you become angels, and then deities. When you put cement into a mold and bake it, it becomes a brick. In the same way, transformation takes place here, and this is why this remembrance is said to be volcanic. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Avekti Parivar. Today's day 14. Transform the atmosphere with volcanic yoga tapasya. Today's topic, from Brahmins to angels and then deities. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. Is everyone okay? Avyakti Parivar? Yes, very good. To remain okay is the sign of progress. Right? Because every day there are different scenes of drama and the cycle always moves forward. We have never seen that time goes backwards, right? It always moves forward. So one of the sign of the good efforts is that I am okay, because that means I am using power of yoga, I am using knowledge, I am implementing, and I am also becoming the embodiment of everything. Otherwise, there could be something which could affect, influence, and you might not feel okay. So, okay are two simple words, but they are like giving the answer to our efforts that yes, I am making good efforts, right? Yeah, you all agree with me that you all making good efforts? Because keeping to your timetable, keeping to your duties, keeping to your logic, whatever you have to do, it requires lot of balance and not feeling, which sometimes we do, that it's lot, it's too much. I don't think I can manage that much.
But I am finding that you all are managing it very, very well with lot of love, lot of good heart. And I must say, in front of a Vyakti Parivar, I had been here for a few days. Generally, our concept in India is that if any senior visit should be maximum 3 days because there is so much to do, so much to do. So then they said, oh, maybe 5 days because it becomes quite intense. But family here had been quite generous and tireless and hosted us for almost 10 days, which is quite a lot. Yeah, so from my heart, of course, lot of blessings, and no one looks tired. That's another thing. Enthusiasm is still on, and everyone looks very, very happy. So, should we call it Brahmins becoming angels? Right? That's what it means. Right? Because if we are moving forward, we are becoming strong and Pakka Brahmins, but moving towards angelic stage. Because sometimes we figure out what is to be an angel. Angels are also human beings, but as human beings, their compassion, their love, their mercy goes beyond the limit. "365 days of the year, Baba's children keep to their personal spiritual effort and a proper timetable. But also, no holiday in this university, right? Because every day is a holy day. It's not a holiday. People say, how do you all manage without that? But we know that more we do, more power we get, right? Accumulation of the account of our thoughts, words, and actions definitely gives us feeling of abundance and richness. Right? So, Brahmins on the journey, I think from day one we start becoming angels. Someone was asking me like, no Baba, this Sunday's murli about all the forms in the entire cycle. I think most of us have experience of eternal stage that is incorporeal, our home, incorporeal world, world of silence. Because eternal form is very, very powerful one, where you are free from your all karmic bondages. And during day, when you have to decide something, you have to say something, generally we respond to what has happened in the past or happening. But actually, it should be other way around. Past is past anyway. Present is moving forward, but my vision should be for future. So if you go into your eternal stage, what you will think and say will be elevated. You will not even want to mention what happened, what is happening, but what should be happening. Right? So one is to say through the words, and other is be in your eternal stage so that what comes from your attitude, your drishti and words is very, very pure, whether it is love, your peaceful nature. So eternal stage and activity in that stage prepares you for your original stage, that is of deity. So from how eternal to original. It's very, very beautiful because you feel it that now let me be in my eternal stage, and then either listening or responding comes from that eternal stage, because that makes you worthy, capable to be in your original stage. If you are not practicing our eternal stage, you can be in your original, because eternal will remove the past also, and you will become that image which Baba is talking of, angel to deity. Now someone said, how do I experience my worship worthy form? Within each one of us, there is this deity form. And first of all, I myself recognize that form. I remember since very young age, I always related my two images to within my own self. One was angel, another was goddess. Always I saw there is a little temple inside where this little goddess is sitting. I didn't know anything of knowledge, but I always connected. Of course, one of the main quality of angel is to serve, and serve voluntary, not if I serve I should get this, if I serve I should be awarded or appreciated. No, it's the nature of serving. Another is always from our heart we bless everyone, and that's the main expression of a goddess or a deity. So we look within and we see that form. And I found at that time many in the audience or in the family will say, oh, you are goddess. No. So it is a becoming, emerging, and it's really real experience. So first you have to create your or feel your own worship worthy form, and then automatically others will also feel that. So our homework tomorrow is we are Brahmins. We have to just watch as Brahmins also. We are Brahmins. So angels and angel to deity. Just as when something is put in a fire, which we do observe every day, so then what happens? Its form. You will not eat flour, but you can eat chapati, right? So what happens? Its form and the quality changes. So too, when you are put in the fire of remembrance of the Father and the fire of love, fire of remembrance, fire of love, transformation takes place. You change from human being into Brahmins, and then from Brahmins you become angels, and then angels become deities. When you put cement into a mold and bake it, it becomes a brick. In the same way, transformation takes place here, and this is why this remembrance is said to be volcanic, the flame and fire. So tomorrow, keep reminding yourself, yes, I can change, but let me put myself into volcanic remembrance, and that will work as fire. Quality will change, form will change. I always say alloy also gets burned and soul becomes pure gold. So reflect on that, churn on that, and experiment with that. Om Shanti.
Oh, Shanti Didi.
Om Shanti, what do you want?
You look like you're in an amazing garden there. Special greetings to Toronto and the whole Canadian family. Is there an audience in front of you?
Yes, Vodiban, there's a huge audience.
Oh, is there really? Okay, so hello to everybody in the gathering as well. I was marveling at the service in Canada in general and Toronto in particular. Am I right in thinking that Canada was the first place where service was done in North America? Is Didi not hearing?
I'm hearing, but maybe they, increase volume, maybe not.
Sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah, seeing the service in Toronto and Canada in general, I was remembering, was Canada the first place that was served in North America?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there was one brother in Africa. Some of you must have heard his name. Was Rambai, and he came to India, and he was in Bombay, and we had a very big exhibition. They call it in India Mela.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very beautiful, and he was really kind of struck. Uh, he loved it. So then he went back to Africa. He was, I think, in Kenya or Zambia, and immediately he said, "Oh, this message should go all over the world." And then said that, "Oh, some sisters should go." But actually, I'm thinking that it was Germany first, and then was USA, then was Canada. So I was in New York and then came to Canada in 1974 and knew some families from India, started staying with them. I spent, I think, 3 months in Canada, went all over Calgary, Vancouver, everywhere,
Wow.
because at that time, it must be even now, that in universities there were like Hindu association, so they get their speakers. So they chose me to be the speaker, and they arranged programs all over. They gave money, ticket, and everything. And then visa finished, then I went to New York, and then we got started there. And even I didn't stay. I stayed maybe 3 months in New York, and then went to Caribbean, Guyana, and there I spent 3 years, I think, between 3-4 countries. And then Dadi Prakashmani came to Guyana. And what had happened that when she was in transit in USA, there was blackout.
Yeah,
And
I
she
remember.
said, such a big country and no center. So she came to Guyana and she said, what you sitting here and doing? You are supposed to be going to USA. So I said, okay, we will try. Uncle was there, and this is how one sister, Gayatri's sister, Savi's sister, name was Sita. So she and two of us came to New York and got a small apartment because we didn't have a lot of money, but whatever we had, able to pay $240 for apartment. And we had 40 left for food, right? But then, of course, there were many families, they knew me in India. So when they came to know that I have come, so of course they keep sending their contribution to Baba. So then Canada and New York, Toronto and New York, kind of started together, but sustained also in different ways. I will do Diwali in New York, come and do Diwali in Toronto. So it was like both places. And
Mm.
happy to see the way it's growing here.
Yeah, it's almost like there's really no border between the USA and Canada. It's just, oh, there we are. Hello, divine family. How beautiful. How beautiful. Thank you for that. It's so lovely.
Even the place is beautiful.
Yes, yes. I've been there, but it's a while since I've been there. Something that you were saying last night, Didi, and it was an expression I'd never heard before. I found it very interesting, was prosperous renunciation. Do you remember saying that?
थोड़ा इधर पास में बैठ जाओ ना. I don't know, it's the echo or something.
My volume's up full. Double check.
Sorry, can you repeat one more?
Yeah, something that you said last night, and it was an expression I'd never heard before. And you said prosperous renunciation. Do you remember saying that? You were talking about talking about the difference between the renunciation of the sannyasis and our renunciation. And so prosperous renunciation.
I was mentioning that Brahma Baba's renunciation the quality of renunciation was very royal in the sense of he renounced, but he didn't leave everything. But then he formed a trust. And I don't know how he knew that all these trustees will be the ones who will be taking care of Yagya. So trust was created. That means everything you have, you don't just leave it and say, okay, I don't care, I am renounced now, I have no interest now. But I and mine was not there. So I think that even I know in my Laukik family, we always had trust for the family. We created a trust to educate poor children, or, after partition, there were so many children, they were orphans, they didn't have money. So through trust, we used to educate. And many children, when they grew, they got good positions. And so I think most of the families create trust because they think that children have their share. Whatever, like Dadi Janki says, you learn from people, you earn from people, so you have to serve community. That concept was not
Mhm.
there. So we created trust too, and then everyone put something in the trust. Even now, I know a lot of, in our community, many families, they create trust in until even now. And from the trust, they keep doing charitable acts because they feel it's not what we earn is for just feeding children and buying house, but serve the community in some way or other. So
Right, but
renunciation
mhm.
of good, Baba's renunciation was a very royal way where everything he had, he used it in worthwhile way. Plus, what point I was making, that in the end, our intellect shouldn't be pulled. And there are people like they're making will, and then okay, it will be for seva, it will be, but still it's different, creating
Right,
trust.
but it was more this aspect of, because when you think of renunciation, you think of that you've given up everything, but yet the yajna is perfect proof that the renunciation generates prosperity. And so I was curious about the prosperity in terms of the obvious material prosperity that's generated, but what are some of the more subtle things that renunciation generates?
Actually, I was connecting with tapasya, tyag and tapasya,
Mm-hmm.
that when there is true renunciation, you can be real tapasvi because your intellect and mind is not really pulled. I think few days ago when Baba says your heart, your mind and intellect, all when they are in concentration, ignites the flame and then it becomes volcanic. So when even subtly, oh, this is mine, I made it, I worked hard, this is what I earned. It's like this very subtle thing. Or it's for my children, grandchildren, of course it is for them. But I always say that from where did you make money? Whether it's profit or income, whatever, it's people's money, right? So
Mm-hmm.
some seva should definitely happen. And so from very beginning, I think most of the old traditional families first will keep certain percentage for seva money and the time volunteer. Recently one of the my Laukik, some relative young person wrote me and said, oh, I learned seva, what is charity. So he will go and spend 3-4 hours to volunteer his time in one of the some center, yoga center. So I was kind of very pleased and I said, "Oh, he's very sensible because okay, money is one thing, but if you can go and volunteer your time for something, that's also a big seva. So tapasya and seva are connected with renunciation.
Mhm.
Because you have to renounce something, right? Whether you sit and watch television, or you just spend time playing with grandchildren, or you say, no, let me go, at least serve for 2 hours, 5 hours, even in Loki. So renunciation is where you are trying that your intellect is not pulled in the end.
I was also thinking about where there's unintentional renunciation, like in where someone becomes a Brahmin and they are intent on following disciplines. And so the fortunate ones have a partner that's going to cooperate because now suddenly the lifestyle is changed, the diet has changed. They didn't ask for this. And so I know you have a lot of regard for the ones who are cooperative without, they don't become Brahmins, but a little bit like, you know, the sannyasis, they leave home, but these folk, they don't leave home, neither the Brahmin nor their partner. And so can you tell me what is the karmic return for their cooperation? And might that have been a quality? Baba said, you know, the blessings he gives. Does he give them blessings too, you know, from the last kalpa that enables them to have this strength to be cooperative with their yugal?
Yeah, but one point before I answer that, once Dadi Janki, someone said that we give vices, we renounce vices. And so Dadi Gulzar said, you remove the garbage, and for that you call it renunciation. That was garbage that was hurting you. So she never kind of said should be very acknowledgement of, oh, I left vices for Baba, I gave vices. Oh, she said what you say is garbage. God has come and made you pure. Is
Right.
patit. So that point I always remember. And of course, the part in drama and this whole thought of becoming cooperative. Um, there are many, many souls. Is your family in knowledge? They are cooperative. So I said, what way they are cooperative? Because they allow me to go. So see, they call it that cooperation. They gave her permission, some to live in life of purity. They call that as cooperation. And we have many, many families in New York, even if they are not in knowledge, but they have fixed their monthly from their trust money goes all the time towards Baba's Bhog or Bhandara or, it depends on some people like uh, to give food, they feel that that's the best charity. Everyone has different. No? One time Dadi Janki said, somebody brings milk, you say, no, no, don't bring milk, bring vegetables. That person will not bring it because that person bhavna is to just bring the milk.
Yes, it's true. It's true.
I think these are the sanskars the soul has, definitely must be from last kalpa. So whatever feelings they have, whatever they want to donate, or they have heard maybe, like they say that you are diabetes, so you cannot eat sugar. So they say maybe you haven't donated enough sugar. So a lot of people start donating sugar so that I can eat. No, there are different concepts in the path of bhakti
Yeah.
about donation, right? Some are not able to eat rice or chapati. So in India, they really donate lot of rice so that I could eat rice or I can eat whole wheat chapati. But these days they have gluten free, right? Anyway, lot of So maybe they have to donate gluten. There was a time in Madhuban when they make Karachi halwa, Karachi
Yeah,
halwa.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What
Very
happens that the gluten is left. Mean they use some gluten and some is left. And, they used to make sabji, the vegetable.
right. I think
They
he's
will,
some. Yeah,
yeah, they cook it and was very, very nice.
very
So
nice.
again, for the time we were eating all gluten and now no gluten. Anyway, it's all
You know,
sanskar.
yeah. Um, again, I've forgotten what you were saying last night, what story you were telling, but you have a very good sense of the whole history of the yajna, um, from being either from hearing from the original ones, or you yourself are such a big part of everyone's history, whether Canada or America or wherever, that you're part of the history. But I don't know very much about Yashoda, about Baba's Yugal, how she responded to when this happened. Did she go to Madhaban? I have no clue. When did she leave the body? I don't know anything about her. Did you ever meet her?
I will call her most royal, renunciate woman
Really?
because she was so incognito and she was observing all the changes which were happening in Baba, then all these activities which were happening. She was very humble, very royal, and very cooperative in a way that, she will, whatever Baba was doing, she will participate and also cooperate. I don't remember seeing her much in Madhuban. She was in Bombay, but I saw her in Delhi. When I went in the beginning, when I started going, generally from university, I will just go directly to 5:30. So I always see her sitting, in the open. They had the place where Baba was staying was the Rajouri Garden Center. But they had an open space where mothers will sit and do something. So whenever I came, she was doing something like vegetable cutting and some things which generally mothers would do. But very calm, and one of the most important thing that she said, Baba, Baba, your Baba is saying this, your Baba is saying it. That means
Oh,
she had this thought. She could say, my husband, right? But she always say, that means her recognition of the part of Baba. I don't know recognition in the sense of Shiv Baba coming and Brahma Baba, but Brahma Baba's special part as a yogi, as a tapasvi, as a renunciate. And even when Baba decided not to continue with the business, she was very, okay with it. Like she didn't object or said, oh, what will happen to children? Because Baba had 5 children, right? Baba had 2 sons and 3 daughters. And she was very quiet, cooperative, and that means she trusted so much. But I was amazed when she will tell us, Baba is the example, follow Baba, was sweet. She was very sweet. Her name was Jasota Maya. We used to call her Mother Jasota.
ah. So she was actually there in Madhuban, but lived more in Bombay. Is that it?
I think
Ah,
also, yeah, there was because of her health also, she had to be there. So Nirmal Shanta Dadi and Narayan Dada, they used to take care of her. And when she was not well, then Nirmal Shanta Dadi was constantly with her, taking care
okay.
of her. So that is why parent care always had been there in the organization. Because Baba did send Nirmal Shanta Dadi to take care of mother. So these days also we find that Lokik children are supposed to take care more, but they are busy with jobs, and so it is always BK children who help their parents much more and when their bodies are not well, or so.
Yeah, I've seen this and I appreciated how wonderfully instruments who age and become unwell are looked after. And the feeling was, this was an offering vogue on Thursday, that because we had Gita here, Gita Ben from DC, that where there's genuine love for God and that your life has been used for service, then it's guaranteed that human beings are going to love you too, that love is going to surround you. And in the Brahma Kumaris, there's no age discrimination, there's no gender discrimination. It is very beautiful. It's much appreciated.
I feel that if we really serve Baba from heart,
Yes.
then until end, Baba will
So
take care of.
I think so too, that you don't even have to think, it'll just be automatic. Yeah. Didi, you're arriving at the end of your 82nd year, right? 82 years completed, 83 about to begin. And so can you give me a summary of this year that you've just completed?
I was asking Bhumi when I said, why do we celebrate birthday? So for me it was like, because everyone wants and they are happy, they will have party, they will get a gift. So I always say, let them be happy, but what do, so I think what I am finding that all the time this Baba's presence of Baba, that if one doesn't worry in the sense of what will happen to me, but have total trust in Baba, that Baba, I am instrument of Baba. I remember, you all know Mohini from Madhuban, right? We were both of us very, very close since very, very beginning. So whenever her body was not well, I will say, how are you? How are you thinking? Because she also had a lot of physical difficulties in the end. So she will say, oh, it's Baba's body. Baba has to see how long I have to be in the body, what I have to do, what service I have to do. So I used to really kind of appreciate her. And then same is with Nirvar Bhai. So I say, Nirvar Bhai, your visit to hospital are so often and I feel it's too much. Oh, it got settled, no? So now I will serve. So he won't remember what happened in hospital, but he will immediately say, oh, but it's good, no? It got settled. So if there is no attachment with the body, but just thinking it's Baba's instrument and what else we have to do, it's not that I have to take care of any family no, it's for Baba since childhood. So it had been, I will say, good year, because in the beginning, spent some time in Madhuban and then lot of time in summer at Peace Village and lot of classes worldwide. Then of course trip here and then we go back, we do Rakhi program, then we are ready to go to
And the
Madhuban
UK, you went to the UK too.
again. Yeah. But also got many invitations. I don't know. I will see how much I could travel, but I definitely love to visit some of the places. So let's see. But it had been, I must say that we never had any time for not even extra days. It had been very, very busy year. But I feel good. I
Yeah,
feel
and
good.
so I know tomorrow we'll celebrate, but I know that I would just be an echo for everybody else and saying thank you from the heart for providing a moving, living example of this movement from angel to deity, or we can't say from human, from Brahmin to angel to deity, and being the embodiment of these. I know we don't have time now, but the two things Baba spoke about, spiritual personality and spiritual authority. The murlis, and that's just one final question. The murlis that we're now reading, the 69, 71 murlis, they're just amazing. Have we had those before? Have they ever? I mean, I'm remembering murlis repeats from when I first came, 76, 77, but did we have those? Have we had those earlier murlis? I don't remember.
Actually, when we were leaving for India, then we thought in a Vyakti Parivar, we might not be able to do many things. So I will just do from Madhuban my part then. So, but also I was very kind of interested to revise how, when Baba left, what did he said, and those murlis from that time. So I told Bhumi Ben, can we revise murlis? And that is where we began Murli of 1969. It was very interesting to hear. And also now when I am hearing about tolerance or content, murlis are so detailed and so much in depth and so powerful, because recently we haven't heard about tolerance. And this is from 71, we are hearing it. So I think that revising murlis of that time, you all think it was useful? We did it?
Oh, extremely, extremely useful. I think it should be a worldwide thing that they should come, maybe, officially.
Even first bhog was offered to by Dadi Gulzar. And I still remember that hall and we all sitting, and a lot of things come back to the mind from that time, especially of 69 then 70 and so many years,
But
Really, Baba is
your understanding of, like, for instance, the Murli that we've been hearing now, yesterday and today, like your understanding of it when you would first have heard it in 1971. And yes, it's easy enough to understand, but I'm sure you must see how the gap between your understanding of it and being the embodiment of it now has
Yeah, definitely, no.
narrowed incredibly.
Tolerance has increased
Wow.
in many different ways,
Yeah.
physically, relationship, or now is like something happened for a minute or so, then it's over. It
This
doesn't.
you had said earlier, and I like very much too, that the sanskar emerges for a moment, but yet our reaction to that sanskar emerging in someone, it can be for much longer than a moment.
If we do not realize that it's the sanskar,
Yeah.
of course it traps us, and we start thinking it's reality. Even if it's reality, but that's not what I want, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you really realize that it was just sanskar, and that sanskar also emerges with different people in different way, right? So it's always better to immediately change it and not allow that to continue, because then more karmic accounts, more conflict, and so we have to remain in harmony with lot of love for
I think
everyone and be detached observer, right?
I think sometimes the reaction, if there's a sanskar emerges in the other person, that sometimes my reaction may have very little to do with the other person, but I might have had a series of tests, say in the last week or something. So my reaction to this one sanskar is much, much bigger than the sanskar. I see
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
that is why we have to be very cautious not to react,
Yeah.
because the reaction will create another reaction. So it's better not to create a chain of reaction, action again and again. So
Thank you,
either you're
Baba, for you being with us to keep us on track. really, really appreciate it. I think we've
thank you.
overshot our time. No, thank you, Didi. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Okay, Om Shanti, family.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Didi. Thank you, Vodipan. So again, to remind tomorrow's program, so we will be starting actually 4 to 5. We will do our Awake Murli revision. Amrit Vela is there, of course, but Awake Murli revision from 4 to 5 p.m. We will move 1 hour ahead. Generally, we do from 5 to 6, but tomorrow we will do from 4 to 5. And then from 5 p.m. onwards, we will do the celebration of Didi's birthday together with series. So all will be combined. So from 5 p.m. onwards, please do join the Vyakti Parivar Zoom or YouTube channel. And all those who can come here in Toronto Center, you're most welcome. Thank you. Now, let's start Awake Murli. Welcome to Awake the Journey. Awake Murlis from 1969, speaking to the heart of an angel.
Om Shanti. This is the Murli of the 8th of June, 1971. 3 things are needed in life: nourishment, happiness, and treasures. What is the one special gift that all of you have received from corporeal Bap Dada? This gift is only received by the loving and cooperative jewels. You receive the gift of heaven as a blessing. Each of you has received special blessings as well as a gift from the corporeal and the incorporeal. Many of you have received your own individual blessings through which you are able to attain success without any effort. You know of your own blessings. Some have received the blessing of one special power, and others have received the blessing of another power. Each of you has the experience of those blessings. Some have even received the blessing of constantly remaining cooperative with all. Some received the blessing of being loving with everyone. Some received the blessing of interacting with others. Some have even received the blessing of the power of being able to face any problem that comes in front of the soul. So, each of you has received your own blessing. Together with this, you have also received a gift. If you look at all the powers that someone has, you will find that out of all the powers, there is one elevated power received in the form of a blessing. You do not have to make effort for this. It is attained naturally. When you come into contact with one another, you experience those powers. Just as you speak of one another's virtues, in the same way, you can also know about the blessings each one has received. However, there is special love for a personal gift. What is that gift? Think about this. And also think about what special attention is needed in order to keep the personal gift with you all the time. Chant this at Amrit Vela. Acha. The soul develops willpower by staying on the pilgrimage of remembrance. The more you imbibe willpower, the more you will be able to stabilize your mind and intellect wherever you want and for whatever length of time you want. How can you develop willpower? By willing everything. You can understand the sign of your being able to will something through your willpower. If you will all the powers, Baba also wills all his powers to you. Then the Almighty Authority, the one with all powers, becomes your companion. And all the powers also become your companions. Then you will have total victory. On the path of bhakti, when people carry out a task, they think, I don't know whether it will be accomplished or not. Therefore, they leave it up to God. Hey God, you know about your task. So the sanskars you have on the path of bhakti are now being fulfilled practically. You have done it practically. On the path of bhakti, it was just for the namesake. Here, on the path of knowledge, you have done it practically. On the path of knowledge, you have the power to do something practically. Whereas on the path of bhakti, you just have the power to speak about it. There is the difference of day and night. Acha, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. So now we will remember Baba. Take drishti from Didi. And one of our Avyakti Parivar angel would like to sing a song together with Baba's remembrance.
उसी से नाता है, इन नैनों को सदा शिव के और नजर न आता है, इन नैनों को सदा शिव के और नजर न आता है। मात पिता शिक्षक सद्गुरु, मात पिता शिक्षक सद्गुरु बंधु सखा सब कोई, मेरे तो शिव बाबा एक दूसरों ना कोई, मेरे तो शिव बाबा एक दूसरों ना कोई। जब से उसको जाना है, ऐसा मिला खजाना है, जब से उसको जाना है, ऐसा मिला खजाना है, इन नैनों को सदा शिव के और नजर न आता है, इन नैनों को सदा शिव के और नजर न आता है। मात पिता शिक्षक सद्गुरु, मात पिता शिक्षक सद्गुरु बंधु सखा सब वही, मेरे तो शिव बाबा एक दूसरों ना कोई, मेरे तो शिव बाबा एक दूसरों ना कोई। संग उसी के खेलो खाऊं, साथ में रास रचाऊं, संग उसी के खेलो खाऊं, साथ में रास रचाऊं, उसकी याद में उसके प्यार में सारे सुख अब मैं पाऊं, उसकी याद में उसके प्यार में सारे सुख अब मैं पाऊं। जिंदगी मैं लहरों में, स्नेह सिंधु की मैं लहरों में रहती खोई खोई, मेरे तो शिव बाबा एक दूसरों ना कोई, मेरे तो शिव बाबा एक दूसरों ना कोई, मेरे तो शिव बाबा एक दूसरों ना कोई, मेरे तो शिव बाबा एक दूसरों ना कोई।
Om Shanti, Om Shanti.